Dear students, the chapter that we are going to discuss today is chapter 6 of your book Footprints Without Feet, that is The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W. Peterson. First of all, let us discuss the main characters of the story. Richard H. E. Bright, he is a brilliant scientist. He is noted for his work on cells and reading of DNA. Next one is Richard's mother. She is an encouraging mother who supported Richard in every way. Dr. Urquhart is a prominent scientist. He did his research on monarch butterflies. He provided valuable guidance to Richard for his project. Next one is Richard A. Wierer. He is Richard's social studies teacher. He helped Richard to become a good debater and a public speaker. Next one is James R. Wong. He is a fellow scholar who worked with him on a project. Now let us see what is there in the story The Making of a Scientist. The Making of a Scientist is a biographical story of a young and bright scientist named Richard H. E. Bright. The story traces the journey of a young child from his childhood to adulthood, marking his achievements. He grew up in USA. At the age of 22, he excited the scientific world with his theory on how cells work. Richard and his college roommate, that is James R. Wong, explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of National Academy of Science. As a child, his hobby was collecting things. Beginning in kindergarten, he collected butterflies, rocks, fossils, and coins. His mother played an important role in his life. She called him Richie. He was the only child of his parents. He lost his father when he was in third grade. His mother was a great driving force in making him a scientist. She always encouraged him and developed his interest in learning. She took him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting material, and other equipment, and helped him in other ways. By the time Richard was in second grade, he had collected all 25 species of butterflies found in his hometown. One day, his mother gifted him a children's book called The Travels of Monarch X. That book was about how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America. This information opened the world of science to Richard E. Bright. At the end of the book, one experiment was given. It encouraged children to tag butterflies for research. Anyone who tagged a butterfly was asked to send it to Dr. Urquhart. This book opened a world of science to the young collector, but it was impossible to catch so many of them in the same time, so he started raising a flock of butterflies in the basement. He would catch a female monarch, take her eggs and raise them. But as he didn't get much feedback, he started losing interest in it. When he was in 7th grade, he participated in science fair and lost. He presented slides of frog tissue which he showed under a microscope. Then he realized that the winners had tried to do some real experiments, not simply make a neat display. Here he gets a hint of what real science is. He learns that science is not a neat display of something but doing some real experiment. Then Richard wrote to Dr. Urquhart for ideas and got many suggestions for experiments. He kept on working on them throughout his high school, which led him to win many prizes at national and international levels. In 8th class, he found out the cause of a viral disease that killed all monarch caterpillars. He raised them in the presence of beetles. There were no real result, but experiment proved that he had tried to experiment and this time he had won. The next year, he tried testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy the monarch. His observation was that monarch caterpillar do not taste good to the birds, but viceroy tastes good. So they saved themselves from being eaten by copying monarch. E. Bright's project was to see if birds would eat monarch as well. He found that a starling bird eating monarch also. This project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in the county science fair. By the time he was in the second year of the high school, he began to search on the purpose of tiny spots on a monarch pupa. Earlier, it was assumed that they were just ornamental, but later Ebright, along with his friends, showed that the spots were producing a hormone that is necessary for their full development. It gave him entry in the International Science Engineering Fair. In the senior year, he grew cells from a monarch's wings in a culture and showed that the cells would divide and develop into a normal butterfly wing scales only if they were fed the hormones from the gold spots. This project won him the first prize for zoology at the international fair. After his freshman year at Harvard University, he did more work on hormones and was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure. He studied the photo of a chemical structure of a hormone in the X-ray. This photo solved his doubt on DNA. He found that DNA is a substance in the nucleus that controls heredity. So DNA was established to be the blueprint for life. Richard graduated from Harvard with the highest honors. All of this is possible because of Richard's scientific curiosity. He started his journey from collecting the butterflies. This led him to discover the theory of life cells, but he was not just interested in science, he took interest in other activities also. There are many activities, there are many qualities that go into making of a scientist. He was a curious, dedicated and hardworking. He had a will to win. He was intelligent and worked for the right reasons. He didn't run after prizes. Apart from this, he was a champion debater and public speaker. He was a good canoeist and an all-rounder at the outdoor activities. He was an expert photographer, particularly interested in science and natural exhibits. According to Richard A. Wearer, his social studies teacher, he was competitive but not in a negative sense. This, he said, is the right ingredient for making of a scientist. First-rate mind, curiosity and will to win for the right reasons. So dear students, it's all about the chapter The Making of a Scientist, which is a biographical story of young and bright scientist Richard E. Bright. I hope you find this video useful and easy to understand this chapter. Thank you.